Gorgeous night at Rogers Center. The roof is wide open. It's a cooler night than it was last night. And the Blue Jays will wrap up the home portion of their schedule for the first half against Ned Yost, the Kansas City Royals. Blue Jays have won 2 of the first 3 games of this 4-game set. Kansas City held to just 1 run on 7 hits last night. And if you haven't seen Salvador Perez yet, you're missing something. He's a special young player. Current road trip, all he's done is gone 8 for 19, couple doubles, 2 home runs. He's driven in 3. He's a 22-year-old catcher and a good one. Gordon Escobar Hosmer, top 3 in the order. Billy Butler is 0 for 24 this year against the Toronto Blue Jays. That's the longest 0 for, deepest 0 for of any big league player this year against one team. Yuniesky, Betancourt, Mike Moustakas, the third baseman's had a great series with the bat. Jeff Francoeur, the veterans in right, and they're set to take on Henderson Alvarez.
Who makes his 17th start of the season and won his 2nd straight last time out, lowering his ERA to 4.15 with 7 innings, just 1 run against the hard-hitting Los Angeles Angels. That's the first time he has pitched at least 7 innings and won the game since May the 10th. His fastball was very good that day. And what I really liked about Henderson Alvarez that night was he pitched inside with his fastball.
Alex Gordon, the left fielder, will start things off. First pitch of the ball game. He's in there for a strike. Gordon's had a rough series. He's just 2 for 12 in this series. Average at 272. Fights that one off. Alvarez has really been freed up lately, and they tried to change some mechanical things, but they have let him kind of determine where he wants to stand in relationship to that pitching rubber.
He really likes to stand on the third base side of that pitching rubber. You see the toes off of it. Good pitch there. Fastball inside, and he locks him up. I think he's got to use that fastball because he's got tremendous movement with it. You can lock up hitters when you know how to throw it on the inside part of the plate. He does just that. Gordon gives up on it. It's a 3-pitch strikeout. But he is over on that third base side of the pitching rubber, so he can throw cross body. And they were worried about that at the beginning of the year. They moved him around, but they have moved him back. And since then, he has really rediscovered his fastball.
Now, it's all about angles. I don't care what sport you're in. You have to create positive angles. And that angle from that third base rubber really gives him the best opportunity to throw strikes. So where was that one?
So you might ask, well, why did he move to begin with? And they felt like his fastball was leaking off the plate at times. It just wasn't as consistent to his arm side. And when we talk about arm side, all it is, if the pitcher's standing on the mound like he is right now, you draw a line from his arm to the inside part of the plate, that's his arm side pitch. Glove side, throw the ball to the outside part to a right-hander.
Well, misses downstairs. It's 2-2. Alcides Escobar is 11th in the American League with that .307 batting average. He's hit .357 over his last 19 games. He has really come into his own with the bat.
Very good short, compact swing. Last year he was really getting under a lot of balls, hitting a lot of fly balls. They have ironed out that swing, more line drives. His line drive percentage is up this year.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Alvarez. This time the changeup gets Escobar.
Take a look at the scouting report for Henderson Alvarez, brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners. Fastball, he really builds off of that. Now, the average velocity for Henderson Alvarez this year on that fastball has been about 93 miles an hour. He's got to get more separation in miles per hour between that slider and the changeup. Both of those pitches about 85 miles an hour.
Fastball misses. There's a 97-mile-an-hour fastball to Eric Hosmer. Hosmer, he's gone 2 for 12 in this series. There's a strike that evens the count at a ball and a strike. Kansas City will go from here to Detroit to finish up their first half of the season against the Tigers. Ground ball, and there's the shortstop on the first base side of second. How about a 1-2-3 first inning for Henderson Alvarez? When we come back, the top of the order: Brett Lawrie, Colby Rasmus, Jose Bautista. In his batting order have set the tone for this ball club. They lost the 3 starters, and the team really has come together because of those injuries, and he believes it's Lawrie and Rasmus that have set the table with their attitude and the tone, the energy they bring to the top of this order.
It really put a lot of pressure on the starting pitcher against them.
Blue Jays are 2 games over 500. Jose Bautista is currently on an 8-game hit streak. 11 for 30 during that streak. 3 homers and 7 RBIs. Top 4 in this batting order have done a job. Encarnacion at 298. Just a couple points under that 300 plateau. Lind is batting 5th tonight, and they are going to face Luke Hochevar. Here's the first pitch from Hochevar, and it's on the corner for a strike.
This is Hochevar's 17th start of the season, and he's been very inconsistent this year. He needs to stay away from the big inning. He's had 4 big innings this season, which have accounted for 22 of the 55 runs against him. Stay away from that big inning, and good things are going to happen.
Hochevar's big-time draft for Kansas City. First overall pick. Pitched at University of Tennessee. Breaking ball. Lawrie rounds out for the first out of the inning.
Well, they throw the ball around the infield. Let's take a look at the scouting report for Luke Hochevar. He's got a fastball, and he uses it just 42% of the time. He's got a good one, I think. A fastball about 93 miles an hour. More breaking balls and fewer fastballs from Hochevar from the last couple of years. He was throwing a lot more fastballs. Now it's more sinker, curveball, slider. He'll cut the ball a little bit. But the curveball, the pitch usage, about 5% more this year than he used last year.
Colby Rasmus. First half has been a good one. 259 average. He's hit 16 home runs. That was a strike. Ball and a strike on the Blue Jays center fielder.
I know he would like to be hitting 300, but he got off to a tough start batting average wise. He was hitting the ball, but he just wasn't finding the base hits. It took him a while to get on track, but now we've seen it climb up to almost 260.
I think when you think about the entire package Rasmus brings to the table, his defensive skills, his base running skills, and then the fact he's got power. You get him up around 280, 285, he'll be thrilled.
And he is on pace for 100 RBIs and 30 home runs. Those type of numbers for a center fielder, and for a guy who plays as good a defense as Rasmus does in center field, you'll take those numbers any day of the week.
Yeah, you'll put him right there with Curtis Granderson and Torrey Hunter in his prime. It's the kind of production you can get. 2-2, 1 out. Right now, when you look at the American League center fielders, Colby Rasmus is on top as far as RBIs as a center fielder. He's 2 ahead of Granderson, 6 ahead of Adam Jones. Hamilton and Brantley right down there with 40, but Colby Rasmus top of the class in center, driving in runs. And last year at the end of the season, people were scratching their heads saying, I wonder what we really have in Colby Rasmus. Now they know.
It was going to take some time, wasn't it? They had to get out there. They got to let him play, let him be himself, find out what they had in him. Because he was so held back, if you will, in St. Louis.
Well, by his own admission, when he got to the Blue Jays last year at the end of July, it was an adjustment. New team, new league. He really didn't have a free mind to play with. A lot of things going on in his head. He was happy to be away from St. Louis and anxious to get a fresh start. But mentally, he just had too many things going on. This year, it's been a different story from day one. John Farrell knew that they had a good talent in Colby Rasmus, and they just had to free up the person. Pull it. Fair ball down the right field line. That ball died up against the fence, and Francoeur will just lob it back in as Rasmus collects his 17th double of the season.
You know, the one thing that is so impressive with Colby Rasmus, yes, he's up on top of the plate, but he can handle that breaking ball that's in and down and in. He recognizes it early when it's a strike and when it's not. He can handle that one. He just drops the head of the bat on it, on that ball, and rips it into right field.
You know, what's really impressive about Rasmus is how often he can keep that ball fair. A lot of guys will hit it hard, but they'll hit it into the seats. We have seen him hit home runs right down the line. We've seen him hit doubles just inside that foul line. He has a knack for keeping that ball fair.
He doesn't go around the baseball when he's attacking it. He goes to the baseball with the barrel of the bat.
Jose Bautista goes after the first pitch. His average is closing in on 250. Down ball. Betancourt flags it down, rights himself, and throws out Bautista. Jose almost snuck it by the second baseman. Rasmus goes to third on the putout.
It was a heck of a play by the second baseman, Betancourt. He was not in full-fledged shift mode. He was behind second base, and Bautista crossed him up. Almost shot one into right field.
The red-hot Edwin Encarnacion. He's 10 for 22 on this homestand. On a 10-game hit streak.
Hit that average just under 300.
Bouncing ball. Moustakas waits on the big hop across the diamond, and the Blue Jays are retired in the bottom of the first. One complete here at Rogers Center. It's scoreless.
Blue Jays on Sportsnet. Brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware and building center location. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Pitching coach Dave Island talking to Luke Hochevar about that first inning. He got a good one under his belt. Billy Butler hitting 287 for the season. He'd be hitting a lot higher if it went for the Blue Jays. He was 0 for 24. That's right, 0 for 24 against Toronto.
And he came into this year a .330 career hitter against the Blue Jays.
That 0 for is the most hitless at bats for any major league player against one team this season. He's hit some balls hard in the first 4-game series at Kauffman Stadium back in April. He hit into 3 ground ball double plays that were scorched.
Yeah, easily could have been base hits if he could have just put him in a good spot. In this series, he's hit a couple of balls really hard. Out to center field and on the infield. It doesn't have anything to show for it. And that's where good hitters who've had a couple of years in the big leagues say, okay, don't panic. It'll come. It will be here. Don't worry about it. I'll get a hit.
Right, three call. Boy, that's a good breaking ball. One of the best we've seen from Alvarez. 3 strikeouts now for the Blue Jays right-handed.
It had depth and it had location. Watch, he freezes up right on the outside part of the plate. That almost looked like a curveball. Now, I know Alvarez doesn't throw curveballs, but that much movement on it.
Yuniesky Betancourt, the second baseman. Betancourt has driven in 43 runs. But Laurie comes after it, gets a good hop, 2 quick outs for Alvarez. Brett Laurie's getting more comfortable every day at third base, and boy, you talk about range. There's nobody in baseball, in my mind, that has more range than Brett Laurie at third.
Yeah, the one play we saw last night, he went to his left and made the play over at first base. He was 2 steps away from the dirt at second base when he caught it and released it. But he's getting better. He's working every day with Brian Butterfield, cleaning up his game at times. And one thing right now, they don't like to see him tapping the ball with the glove when he has it. Here's that play that you were just talking about, Buck. Watch the range and watch where he is when he throws it. Now he's 1, 2 steps from the dirt at second base. Then have the runner over at first.
It came on a play off the bat of Jason Bourgeois in the 8th inning. Brian Butterfield has all of his infielders out working, and he has specific drills for each of the individuals to address their weaknesses, their shortcomings, and try to improve upon those.
And he says that Brett's getting better, and he really likes him. He loves his work ethic. Now he's getting out there and playing. Just that quick play where you've got to go to your left or your right. He doesn't want him to take the ball out of the glove and then tap it once again inside the glove. It takes away too much time as you have to throw the ball across the infield.
Inside, it's 2-2. Well, all those things are magnified once you get here to the big leagues because the ball gets to you quicker, but base runners are faster. So you can't take the time to tap that glove. Yunel Escobar did the same thing when we first got here. Mike Moustakas has had a great series. This time he flies out to center. Alvarez has retired 6 straight to start the game. Bush and Dwayne Ward. Visit BlueJays.com/Baseball Academy for more information. The Toronto Blue Jays are proud supporters of amateur baseball across Canada. What a star-studded coaching staff you have for that super camp out in Vancouver. Alomar, Olerud, Mosby, Bush, and Dwayne Ward.
Wow.
That's worth the price of admission right there without any instruction.
And every one of those guys, I've done camps with them and clinics. They are outstanding teachers. I mean, you will really get a lot out of going to those clinics and those camps from all those instructors.
John Olerud is a terrific instructor with a great demeanor and a wonderful sense of humor. Very dry sense of humor. Adam Lynn batting in the 5th spot for a second consecutive night has the count in his favor, 2 balls and a strike. 9 games since he's come back from AAA. He's hit 3 home runs and driven in 7. JP and Jeff Mathis having a conversation in the dugout. And Francisco interested.
I like to see that when the 2 catchers are talking to each other.
Popped up and playable. Long run for Moustakas, who was playing in the pull. He makes the catch just by the coach's box. 1 down. Yeah, that's a great scene where you have 2 catchers going over that last inning talking about Alvarez, what they did. Never know who's going to catch him the next time. So all the information that you have, you've got to share with your catching partner.
Even if you go up to him and you say, hey, what do you see? How does this look? How's the game that I've been calling so far? Tell me what you see from over here on the bench. And you can learn so much just by opening your ears and listening.
Just talking about different sequences and what he was thinking when he made a particular pitch selection. Yunel Escobar, the shortstop. Boy, Escobar put in a good day's work prior to batting practice this afternoon. Took about 60 ground balls off the bat of Brian Butterfield. And that one hurt.
He wears that padding over his left shin and over his shoe and his instep. But from where he is feeling, it looks like he got it off his back foot. Look at the padding that he has over that foot side right there, and he just didn't hit that foot.
Ball on the strike. Still feeling the effects of that last foul ball. He walked out of the batter's box trying to get some feeling back in that right foot. A pretty good pitch to hit and fouled it back over the screen. Escobar's had 8 hits in the series. His last 6 games have been productive. .304 average.
Gets in trouble when he tries to lift the ball, but he's had a line drive stroke out.
That ball is hit high and deep to right, but Jeff Francoeur is back and will make the catch. 2 down. We mentioned Luke Hochevar was a first overall pick by the Kansas City Royals in 2006 and really hasn't put it all together yet. He was a highly sought after draft choice, and Kansas City took him #1 overall, and it just really hasn't worked out for them just yet.
Yeah, there's been very inconsistent, up and down, as you can see from those numbers. His second half last year was outstanding. He won 11 games the second half of 2011. He had 31 starts for the year, 11 wins for the year, and 198 innings. So they thought he was turning the corner.
Rajay Davis hits one right back to Hochevar. He has a 1-2-3 second. Still scoreless here at Rogers Center. enjoying those big comfy green chairs in the comfort zone are guests of TD. The TD Comfort Zone, courtesy of TD. Henderson Alvarez has it working. He jumps ahead of Jeff Francoeur with the first pitch strike. Bouncing ball. Laurie barehands it again in the dirt, and Encarnacion digs it out. He makes it look easy, but believe me, that's not an easy play for Brett Laurie.
And it's a tough play to go out, okay, I'm going to practice coming in like this barehanded. You don't really do that. That's a play that Laurie has been making with regularity at third base, coming in barehanding it by throwing the ball into the turf. Also, it gave Encarnacion a chance to go down low and stretch out for that throw. What a play.
Throw was right on the money. Salvador Perez batting .371. This is just his 10th game of the season, as he had knee surgery in spring training. Laurie knocks it down, and he won't have a play. He was playing close to the line. Perez pulls it, and he gets a base hit. This is quite a rivalry between Perez and Henderson Alvarez. Both from Venezuela, and they both play with the same Winter League team.
Bragging rights are on the line right now. Laurie got over there and it just hit off the heel of his glove. He had a shot to get Perez at first base if he comes up with it cleanly.
Alvarez and Perez got together 2 nights ago during batting practice, and 2 young budding stars in the big leagues. Gerard Dyson starting in center field for a second consecutive game. He went 0 for 2 last night, struck out both of his at-bats. Was lifted for a pinch hitter. Pops this one in the air and into the seats. Blue Jays are going to have to be quick if they hope to double up Dyson. He can really run. And he's had the advantage of hitting from the left side of home plate. He'll get out of that box in a hurry.
Ideally, you'd like to see him get the ball firm to the middle of the infield somewhere where they can turn it. Anything to the corners is going to be very tough.
Another ball into the seats. Well, what a turnaround for Henderson Alvarez after he left that Boston start. Looked like he was in serious trouble with elbow problems. He got the elbow checked out. It proved to be nothing, and he is back and throwing good his last 2 times in. Where was that one?
You know how you can lock up hitters with good fastball? They might have locked up one of the umpires right here, because that ball
center cut
looked like it got plenty of the plate.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Perez at first. Kelly Johnson can't knock it down. Perez is around second, headed for third. Rasmus cuts it off. Perez will stop at third as Dyson has a double. That ball snuck under the glove of Kelly Johnson. Looked like he had a shot at it, but it really scooted on this turf.
That was the ball that they could have turned 2 on. You're right. It just got underneath his glove. He had a dive at it, had a chance. And Alvarez, who thought he had him struck out the pitch before, now has to pitch with runners at second and third and just 1 out.
Boy, he made a good pitch with that fastball and didn't get to call. Then Dyson got another pitch and ends up with his 5th double. So the Royals are threatening. Second and third, 1 out, back to the top of the order. Perez at third with a single. Dyson with a double. He's at second base. Blue Jays are going to play the infield back. Gordon had a strikeout in last night's game, 2 strikeouts Tuesday night, and a strikeout in the opener on Monday. Alvarez would love to get another strikeout right here.
Teams have really challenged Alex Gordon this year. They've thrown him a lot of fastballs, tried to crowd him, throwing fastball in and up to him. That's where they've got no strikeouts.
Three and 0. Aaron Sevia's got to be wise here and not give in to Alex Gordon. Kansas City's been hard pressed to score runs, and he might have the green light. Got a base open at first. Yeah, that is a borderline call. Alvarez has to be thinking, what happened to that one on Dyson?
I like the idea, though, where he used his fastball, cutting it inside. You have to be able to pitch on both sides of that plate.
Gordon takes the walk. The bases are loaded. So Alvarez now needs one of those sinking fastballs down in the zone to get a ground ball. See if he can't get out of this inning.
Well, he's got one of the best ground ball ratios in baseball. He's also got one of the lowest averages when they do hit it on the ground. Matters are just hitting 190 off of Henderson Alvarez when he gets them to hit it on the ground.
Escobar struck out in the first. Ground ball. Laurie should come home. He does, and they're going to call a foul ball. Evidently, the ball hit Alcides Escobar on the foot. Home plate umpire Ed Hickox called time as he calls a foul ball.
So it'll go down as just strike one. Yeah, and it looked like he kicked it out to Brett Laurie right off his front of his shoe.
I don't think it hit his foot.
You don't?
Watch this.
Yeah, right off his spike.
Nope, it hit in front of his foot. He sold it to the umpire, though. 0-1, 1 out. Ball on the strike. You think it hit his foot?
I thought it just nicked his front of his cleat. I don't think it hit him in the foot and ricocheted out there. Either that or that's some heck of a good acting job right there, because it was pretty quick.
Ball on the strike. Base hit to right. 1 run is in. Dyson is stopped at third as the Royals have taken a 1-0 lead. Perez comes in to score the first run of the ball game. Escobar slapped it through the right side of the infield.
You know what they're going to have to do right here, really limit the damage. They haven't gotten a break this inning. An infield single, and then a pitch that looked like they had him struck out ended up a double, and then another one that looked like it was a ground out to third, and he punches it through the right side. So what Alvarez has to do now is really limit the damage right here. Keep this from being one of those big innings.
Royals won the opener 11-3, and then lost 6-3 and 4-1. Eric Hosmer with a big swing and a miss. Hosmer grounded out into first. It was to the shortstop, Yunel Escobar, but he was on the first base side of second. Now he's more straight away with the bases loaded. Eric Hosmer's got a good swing, but I think we're going to see some refinements in that swing. It looks like he winds up a bit, and that swing has a tendency to get a little long.
Yeah, it's a little long right now. He's got great hands at the plate. He's got a great swing path. But you're right, it's a little bit long because he winds up at the plate.
0-2. 97 missed down and in.
You know, it's good to move your hands back, but I think he's moving them back a little bit too far. And it's tying him up. Just a little bit of movement back. But he's a good looking hitter.
Base hit left field. Dyson comes in to score. Gordon will stop at third. RBI single for Eric Hosmer. It's 2-0 Kansas City. Well, this inning goes back to that one key pitch to Gerard Dice that looked like strike 3. That would have been 2 outs and a man at first base.
Ball that is a wave from Hosmer, and he punches it the other way. Not a lot of movement that time with 2 strikes. He'll pick up the RBI single. But you're right, he gets that call. That's 2 outs, a runner at first base, and he'd be facing Gordon. And I think he would have pitched to him. Certainly looked like he was pitching around Alex Gordon with that base open.
So the bases remain loaded. Still just 1 out, 2 runs in, and Billy Butler caught looking on a breaking ball. He struck out to start the second inning. Off the plate inside. Minimize the damage. That's the theme of this inning right here.
Yeah, make a pitch right here, get the ball on the ground, and you can give up 4 hits and a walk and come away with just 2 runs. That's what you're looking for.
Changeup just missed down and away. It's 2-0. Laurie goes to second and throws it into right. 1 run is in. Here comes the second run. Bautista's throw back to third is late. Laurie knocked down that ball. Looked like it was headed down the left field line, but when he jumped up, he threw wide of second into right field.
It'll probably go as an infield single for Billy Butler. His first hit this year against the Blue Jays. Brent Laurie will probably also be charged with an error just to get to this ball. He saves a run. Now when he throws off balance into right field, that allows another run to score and the runner at second base, Hosmer, to go to third.
I don't think he was going to have a shot at Hosmer anyway. Hosmer got a good jump at first base, but he was a little bit off balance and threw wide of second. Hosmer will end up at third. It's a 4-run inning as Billy Butler snaps that long over. He is now 1 for 26.
You know what's upsetting about this inning is it all could have been avoided. Alvarez had been pitching beautifully up until that 2-strike pitch. He had struck out 3 of the first 4 batters, retired the first 7, just a little dorky infield single, and now the floodgates have opened up. And he has been pitching well.
One pitch that he didn't get a call, and then the floodgates opened up. Jesse Chavez starts to loosen up. Blue Jays have 2 new relievers down in their bullpen tonight. Sammy Dyson, who was called up today, and Drew Carpenter, who joined the team last night. 2 fresh arms in their bullpen. Betancourt fouls it back. He's in the hole, 1-2.
Henderson just deserves better. He is making pitches, getting the ball on the ground. He just has bad luck. A couple of infield singles here. They really haven't hit the ball hard this inning. They just found good spots.
Two infield hits in this inning. Perez had an infield hit knocked down by Laurie at third, and then Billy Butler, that last hit, stayed on the infield as well. 2-2.
That'll make for a long inning. But Alvarez, that's count up to 52 now, and he breezed through the first 2 innings.
Full count. Didn't see this coming. Alvarez retired the first 7 he faced here tonight. And then Kansas City, 5 hits and a walk. All coming with 1 out. It's poked into the seats down the right side. So in 30 pitches this inning. Anytime you get over 18 to 20 pitches, you get a little leg weary.
Yeah. Yeah, you start hoping for that bench where you can go get a drink of water and catch your breath. You can see how he is perspiring.
Billy Butler at first, Hosmer at third. Butler's not going, and the bases will be loaded again. Second walk of the inning. And now you got to deal with a red-hot Mike Moustakas. Moustakas flied out to center field his first time up. But he's had a good series. For the series coming into this game, he was 5 for 13, 3 doubles, a home run, and he's driven in 5. Moustakas came into this series with an 0 for 15. And then he snapped that with a double. And then in the 7th inning with the bases loaded.
His first career grand slam to center field. Right off the facing of that first bank of seats. Moustakas with his 14th home run. First career grand slam. First grand slam by a Royals player this year. There were only 5 teams who hadn't hit a grand slam. Now there's 4. That was the last grand slam that the Royals have hit in their career. The first was 43 years ago yesterday by Darren Oliver's father. Bob Oliver hit the first grand slam in Royals history, July the 4th, 1969.
Bob Oliver was a pretty good power hitter. Ball was popped out of play. Bob Oliver and I were teammates in '69 in Kansas City. He started in a Pittsburgh Pirates organization. And he comes out and sees Darren play whenever they're in the West Coast. 4-0 Kansas City. And bottom of the order got it started, 8-9. Perez and Dyson. This is the 9th man to hit this inning. That's deep enough to score another run. Hosmer is tagging up at third. The throw will go to third, and Moustakas picks up another RBI. It's 5-0 Kansas City as Hosmer scores on the sac fly. So Moustakas delivers that extra run. And this has been a long inning for Henderson Alvarez. Blue Jays are 4-3 on this homestand, 2 4-game series. They split 2 with the Angels. They split 2 apiece with the Angels and have a chance to win the series here, but they'll have to do it in comeback fashion now. Jeff Brancourt went around. Mark Carlson down at first base rings him up.
Kansas City had a 5-run inning against the Blue Jays already one time on this homestand. Their season high for runs in an inning was for his 6th. And this is the 5th time this year that they have scored at least 5 runs in an inning.
Vancouver's in a hole 0-2.
And to Henderson Alvarez's credit, I think he's been throwing the ball really well. Just doesn't have anything to show for it.
Only the Oakland Athletics have scored fewer runs than Kansas City. So this 5-run inning is the exception. Outside. Ed Yost knows this 5-run lead is certainly not quite enough. He recognizes just how much firepower the Blue Jays have, and Alvarez would just love to get out of this inning now.
Well, you see the glasses keep falling off of him when he finishes his pitches. He's been sweating a lot this inning. Watch the glasses on the neck whip as he whips it around. And since he's gotten into trouble, he's really come out of his delivery a little bit. He's trying to throw the ball a little bit too hard instead of placing it where he needs to.
That was the 40th pitch of this inning.
This is where you got to like really let off the gas pedal. Just make a good pitch. So many times young pitchers feel like they have to throw it through the catcher to get an out.
24 pitches in the first 2 innings, and then 40 pitches here in the third. The runners are off on the pitch. Francoeur gets jammed. Laurie across the diamond, and the inning finally comes to an end. But Kansas City scores 5 in their half of the third. They lead it 5-0. Along, he retired the first 7 batters he faced here tonight, and then the roof caved in, and he was upset. He looked like he was going to register the second out of the inning to Gerard Dyson, a borderline pitch that was called a ball, and then Kansas City took full advantage of it. 5 runs on 5 hits and an error in the top half of the third.
Well, he won't have to worry about his glasses falling off anymore unless he's got the backup spare in his locker, because he crushed that game set right there.
Kelly Johnson will try to get something going right here. Coach Shaver has allowed just 1 hit. Kobe Erasmus had a 1-out double back in the first. The diving first baseman Eric Hasman. That ball will go all the way to the wall. Jeff Francoeur's throw to second is not in time. There's a start. You know, Francoeur wanted to cut this ball off and rob his former teammate of an extra base hit, but it shot by him and went all the way to the wall.
Kansas City Royal outfielders play shallow, and that's for a reason. They can see the ball over their heads, but they want to catch those bloopers and bleeders that land in front of them. That kind of backfired on him. It hit the turf and went all the way to the wall for extra bases.
Got to take advantage of this leadoff double. Move him up, get him in. Advance Kelly Johnson at least 90 feet, hopefully all the way home. Former teammates facing one another. J.P. Arancibia was the catcher for Luke Hochevar at the University of Tennessee.
Yeah, he knows all about Luke Hochevar, but he says he's a different pitcher now. He has added a cutter. He can sink the ball just a little bit better. He doesn't throw as hard as he did back then.
Anderson Alvarez has regrouped and returned to the dugout bench. His team is loaded with firepower, and they can erase a 5-run deficit. JP's done a good job in clutch situations, a .302 average. And he's got Kelly Johnson in scoring position.
Now you're just battling with 2 strikes on you. You're not necessarily trying to hit the ball to the right side. You're just trying to survive up there. Pitchers have thrown him 2-strike breaking balls, and that's been a mistake.
And Hochevar knows him well. JP's become a pretty good breaking ball hitter. That breaking ball that's in the strike zone down around the knees, that's the pitch he's worn out.
Yeah, he has hammered that pitch this year. His last home run was hit like that. Number 11 was a breaking ball that was down.
Lays off that breaking ball. Full count. Brett Lawrie is on deck. He just soon step inside that batter's box. He's inching closer and closer. He's anxious to hit.
The on deck circle for him is the dirt area around home plate.
Full count, nobody out. High and deep to left, and J.P. Arancibia has gone deep. 2-run shot for J.P. Here come the Jays.
Never out of it when you've got the home run power that the Blue Jays have, especially in this ballpark. And for J.P. Arancibia, another 2-strike breaking ball from the pitcher. It's down and he hammers it. 12th home run for Arancibia. He now has 40 RBIs. And when you can lay off the breaking ball out of the strike zone, become a little bit more disciplined, wait for a pitch like this, he's dangerous. There's another one right over the middle of the plate. He crushed it.
Brett Lawrie fouls it into the seats. Well, that's a pretty swing right there. He got himself back into a full count. Hochevar trying to trick him with that breaking ball, and he takes him into the second deck. And now he's back working on his pitcher. Lawrie gets jammed. Easy play for Moustakas. That's the first out of the inning. So now Arancibia has switched roles from hitter to catcher. Trying to pump up Alvarez, getting back in this game.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with your stuff. Just keep doing it. Listen to me. Just keep throwing those pitches and you'll get them out, okay? You can't get down. There's just too much baseball left.
Too many runs in this lineup. Colby Rasmus has doubled already tonight. Boy, that's good to answer a 5-run top half of the inning with a couple. Now you got him back within your sights.
Yeah. And a bloop and a blast, and you're right back into it.
Rasmus hit his 17th double of the season in his first at bat. Swings over the top of that breaking ball. Colby has 36 extra base hits. That's tied for 10th in the American League.
17 doubles, 16 home runs. And a good eye at the plate.
Now, this is a dangerous part of the Blue Jays lineup, and Hookjaber is very familiar with that. Last time out at Minnesota against the Twins, Hookjaber gave up 3 home runs. Went 6 innings, gave up 8 hits, 5 earned runs. Lost that game 5-1 to Minnesota.
4th time in his career that he has given up at least 3 home runs.
Good breaking ball, and looked like that hit Rasmus. Blue Jays have hit 1 home run already tonight and scored 2 runs, and this is what they do, living off the long ball. Only the Yankees and the Orioles score more of their runs on a home run than the Blue Jays. A potent lineup, and one that can erase any early deficit with 1 swing of the bat.
That's why they're never out of the game. They run the bases well, they've got some team speed, they're aggressive, and they hit home runs. They hit more home runs than doubles for the longest period this year. Sit here and see they're going back to a starting pitcher saying, hey, hold them right there. We're going to come back and win this game. We're going to put some runs on the board for you.
Jose Bautista grounded out to second, his first time up.
I don't think Jose Bautista was trying to hit a soft single to right field on this swing right here. He was thinking about putting 2 more on the board for the Blue Jays.
Line drive left field, but he got jammed a bit. That's going to hang up for Alex Gordon. Hookjaber used that little quick pitch delivery right there. We've seen him do that in the past, and he utilizes it very effectively.
Yeah, he'll do it with nobody on, where you can quick pitch him and you don't pick up your leg very high. But with a runner on, you've got to stop. It's a quick pitch because it's almost like a slide step.
An abbreviated step for sure. Doesn't have that high leg kick. Two outs. Edwin Encarnacion moves back from an inside fastball. Blue Jays are on the board here in the bottom of the 3rd. And say leads 5-2. The pitch inside.
Going to try and run that two-seam fastball inside to his right-hander, so they can't get extended.
Three and 0. Not anxious to give Edwin Encarnacion a cookie in this situation. Sal Perez, the young catcher, and a remind that this is a dangerous hitter right now. You got to make a good pitch. This catches the inside corner.
Well, he's got a good sinking fastball. He can go to that 3-0 if he wants to, just in case Encarnacion is swinging. Looks like he's going to do the same thing. Go right back in there.
Escobar to the second just in time. Erasmus made it bang bang at second, but Alcides Escobar stayed with it and was able to flip it to Betancourt to close out the inning. Hookjaber gives up a pair, but he gets a nice piece of defense behind him by the shortstop. This looks like it's got a chance to sneak into center, but they get the force at second. 14th. The Blue Jays and the Indians will hook up. The game starts at 1:07 p.m. Special kids prize tickets in the 200 and 500 level seats. After the game, kids 14 and under can run the bases just like the pros. Call the Blue Jays at 416-341-1234 for tickets. You can log on to BlueJays.com to order your tickets or stop by most Rogers Plus locations to pick up your tickets for Junior Jays Saturday. Sal Perez started that 5-1 rally with a 1-out single his last time up. This time he hits it up the middle, but Escobar is there in plenty of time. First down the inning. Well, we talk about it every time, but this is a huge half inning for Henderson Alvarez. His club just scored 2 to make it a 3-run game. He needs a quick inning and get his hitters back up to the plate.
Also a quick inning so he can stick around a little bit longer. 40-pitch inning last inning. And again, he didn't pitch poorly. Just the results were not very good.
Bouncing ball to short. Dyson can run, but he can't outrun that throw by Escobar.
This is no middle ground for Henderson Alvarez. In his wins, he is really good. His ERA is 2. He's averaging just 1 base runner per inning, and he's only allowed 5 home runs. In his losses, though, on the other hand, he has trouble finding the strike zone. The ball starts leaking up just a little bit. Opponents hit under 300. But the home runs, 20 home runs allowed in his losses this year, and that's just inconsistency from a young starter.
Even last year when he made 10 starts in the big leagues, he threw the ball well, but he gave up 8 home runs. It's just one of those things where when hitters see him make those high pitches, they square it up. Alex Gordon gets a base hit. He's been on base twice now, a 2-out single to center. This is the final home game of the first half of the schedule for the Blue Jays. They'll leave after this game, fly to Chicago for a night game Friday night, and then afternoon games on Saturday and Sunday. And then they'll take the 4 days off. Everybody but Jose Bautista, who will go to Kansas City and participate in the All-Star Game festivities. Now see this Escobar drove in the first run of the ball game. Yeah, good at bat, found off a couple of tough pitches and then singled to right.
He had a great at bat in last night's game. Fouled off some really tough pitches and then had a base hit to right field, an RBI single to right in last night's game. So this guy hitting .309, that's not a fluke.
Ball on the strike. Escobar is 25 years old. He came to Kansas City in a trade with Milwaukee. Saw Zach Greinke, the cornerstone in that trade. Greinke going to the Brewers along with Yuniesky Betancourt, who was reacquired by the Royals. Kansas City got a boatload of talented young players.
And this was the guy they wanted, that shortstop Escobar. His strong point and his strong suit is defense. He's got a great glove and great arm. They thought, oh, maybe 250 to 270, but he's really bought in now to what Kevin Seitzer, the hitting coach, has for him. That is to use the whole field, level out that swing, and averages over 300 now.
Also coming to Kansas City from the Brewers in that trade, center fielder Lorenzo Cain, right-handed pitcher Jeremy Jeffers, and right-handed pitcher Jake Odorizzi. Odorizzi's a starter, and he's got a chance to come up to the big leagues.
Is he pitching in the Futures game?
I believe he is in Kansas City. Yep. So the Royals are flush with young talent. But right now you're going to go through some growing pains as those youngsters become established big leaguers.
Royal flush with talent. That's pretty good, Buck. Royal flush. Yeah, they have some very good everyday players, and they've really concentrated the last few years in the draft and getting everyday players.
2-2, 2 outs. Inside, it's a full count. That'll give Alex Gordon a running start at first. Over the course of the season, Alvarez has gotten better. Once he gets past those first 3 innings, he's settled in, and maybe the wear and tear of the pitchers in those first 3 innings allow him to get better sink on his fastball. There goes Gordon. There's a base hit down left field line. Davis going to have to get this ball back in quickly. Gordon is being stopped at third, and Davis did a heck of a job of cutting that ball off. That saved a run. His ability to get over there and glove it cleanly and get it back to the infield saved a run for the time being.
They punched the middle of the diamond with Escobar at the plate. And when he pulled that inside fastball, Rajai Davis had a long way to go. If this ball gets by him, that is a run for the Royals. He gets it in as quickly as possible. Backhand it. You don't have time to stop. Just throw it somewhere close to that cutoff man and just appear that you're getting that ball in quickly. Rajai does that to save a run.
2 outs. Eric Hosmer bounces it to first base. Carnacion flips to Alvarez, and credit Rajai Davis with saving a run. That keeps it a 5-2 Royals lead. Sportsnet. It'll be Sportsnet 1 tomorrow. The Yankees and the Red Sox will hook up at Fenway Park. It all starts at 7:07. 7 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow. Josh Beckett will go to the mound for the Red Sox, and the Red Sox continue to get bad news. Dustin Pedroia was sent back to Boston. He re-injured his thumb, and he's going to have that examined. But on the good news, Ellsbury and Crawford both played in Double-A last night, and they're getting very close to returning to the big leagues.
Played against the Blue Jays, Double-A team, New Hampshire. That is a series, a big 4-game series in Boston. A chance for the Red Sox to cut into that 7.5-game lead by the Yankees.
Adam Lynn fouls it into the seats. Going to be an interesting second half for this entire division. Blue Jays are 55 games in the second half within their division. Only played the Yankees twice so far. And when you look at the rest of the division, they played 9 games with Boston and 9 games with Baltimore. They still have 9 games left. And then Tampa Bay, they need to improve on their play against Tampa Bay. Just 2-6 so far.
We haven't even been to New York yet, so it's going to be tough.
Now here's what the schedule looks like after the All-Star break. The final 76 games. They play 39 home games, 37 on the road. Mentioned the 55 against the AL East. And how about just 22 games against teams under 500? It's going to be a tough second half.
It's going to be a very tough second half. Pitchers have got to really step it up. A lot of road games also. In the month of August, they played 19 games on the road.
19 of those remaining 37 road games will come in August. Another foul off the bat of Adam Lynn. Now Blue Jays chopped into that 5-run deficit last inning. Kelly Johnson hit a double. Aaron Seavey hit a 2-run home run. Blue Jays won last night without the benefit of a home run. They won 4-1 and hit 3 sacrifice flies. That ball just trickles foul.
I think that's just the 8th time this year that they have won a game where they did not hit a home run.
And we showed you the percentage of runs scored on the home run for the Blue Jays. They're 3rd in the American League, 3rd in baseball for that matter. But John Farrell loves it when his team manufactures runs, and boy, they ran the bases very well last night, had good at bats, and we mentioned the 3 sacrifice flies. Escobar, Davis, back-to-back sac flies, and Lynn strikes out. That's how the bottom of the 4th starts. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Well, the Indians just won't go away. They continue to hang in there, and they've had some outstanding performances this year. Jason Kipnis has moved into the 3rd spot in that lineup, and he came out of nowhere. Now they've got Hafner back as the DH. Brantley's hit 283, a couple hits tonight.
Asdrubal Cabrera, what a shortstop he is. They've got some players over there in Cleveland.
Yeah, they've done a nice job. Johnny Damon is playing left field. He hasn't really had an impact offensively. There's a shot to the gap at right field. That'll go all the way to the wall. Escobar is around first. He'll stop at second with a 1-out double. His 10th double of the season.
That's a good piece of hitting by Escobar. He gets in trouble when that back shoulder drops down and he tries to lift the ball in the air. His swing becomes a little bit too long. This time, look how straight he stays with those shoulders. Very level. It levels out his swing. And if you want to hit that outside pitch, that's how you hit it right there. Stay on top of it, great backspin, and drill it in the right field for a double.
Escobar's in scoring position for Rajay Davis. Davis bunts right through that pitch, trying to push it up the first base foul line.
It looked like he was aiming right towards Bettencourt, the second baseman for the Kansas City Royals. He was going to try and get it by Hochevar, the pitcher, and then just outrun the baseball.
Line drive caught by the second baseman, and Escobar's going to be doubled up. Boy, you got to freeze on a line drive and make sure it's down safely, but the Royals get out of the 4th inning with a line drive double play. Rajay hit a pump back liner to the second baseman. Bettencourt does a good job backing up and then throws to second to end the inning. Now it's time for Blue Jays Central Update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn in the Blackberry Broadcast Studio. snapped a long offer. He's now 1 for 26. Boy, they have really done a good job on him. Look what he hit last year, 393. Had a couple of home runs and had an OPS of 1.219 compared to this year. .172, but he got a timely hit last time up. Drove in a run.
It was an infield single. Ball that was hit down the left field line, knocked down by Brett Lawrie. He's just a good hitter. 16 home runs, 49 driven in. I think you have to just keep changing things up with Billy Butler because he's very cerebral. He knows how teams are trying to get him out, and he guesses right along with you.
Ground ball. Leonel Escobar waits on it. Butler's retired. One down here in the top of the 5th. Well, you just get a sense if Alvarez can put up a couple more zeros, Blue Jays are going to get back in this ball game. They have just 4 hits against Hochevar.
Hochevar has been pretty good until now, but the big inning has been a big thing against him this year.
Escobar backhands, writes himself on the money. 2 quick outs.
Want a better tasting burger? Then step up to the plate for a Sirloin Uncle Burger at A&W. Made with 5 ounces of juicy sirloin, it's a taste of burger bliss.
Beautiful night in Toronto. It's cooled off some. Last night it was sweltering. And tonight it's cooled off a bit. Blue Jays are headed to Chicago, where it's been reported that they expect temperatures near 100 over the weekend. Just the way we like it, huh, Pat?
I love it. Can I bring my fan along?
Yeah.
I might have to throw that in a suitcase tonight. That was the savior for you and I last night.
Mike Moustakas has a sac fly tonight. That's a pretty good pitch. St. Pierre and Seavey set up right on that inside corner, and he received it well, and Ed Hickox just didn't like what he saw. Come right back with that same pitch.
It's a great pitch to a left-hander. When he learns to throw that and lock up those lefties, he's going to be tough.
Comes right back with that pitch and has a quick inning. Took him just 8 pitches at a 1, 2, 3, 5th. Bottom of the order when we come back. Kelly Johnson doubled and scored on J. Pierre and Seabier's 12th home run. Then back to the top of the order, Brett Lawrie. Sports Day will take place Sunday, July 29th, when the Blue Jays welcome in the Detroit Tigers. The game starts at 1:07 p.m. The first 20,000 fans will receive a sports bag courtesy of Mr. Sub. For tickets, call the Blue Jays at 416-341-1234. Log on to BlueJays.com to order your tickets so you can always pick them up at most Rogers Plus locations. Chance to see Prince Fielder and Miguel Cabrera with the Tigers for the first time. And oh yeah, that guy named Justin Verlander. He's pretty good.
We hope we don't see Justin Verlander.
Kelly Johnson doubled to start the third inning, and he would score ahead of the two-run home run by J.P. Arancibia. Good grip of the fastball. One and two. Kansas City leads 5-2. They had 5 runs in the top half of the third inning, and the Blue Jays countered with 2 of their own in the bottom half. That's been a ball all night long.
Yep, he has been very consistent as Ed Hickox, the home plate umpire, calling that inside pitch a ball. Yuniesky Betancourt, the second baseman for the Kansas City Royals, plays the deepest second base I've ever seen. Against every left-hander, he is out in short right field.
Foul tip and hung on to by Sal Perez. Johnson strikes out. So J.P. Arancibia, the catcher, will step in the box. Last time up, he went deep, his 12th homer of the season.
Another 3-2 breaking ball over the middle of the plate. He has made a living doing that, hitting those breaking ball mistakes from those pitchers a long way. 2 more RBIs. He's at 40.
See how Hochevar attacks Arancibia this time. He missed with the first pitch fastball.
Bet you doesn't throw him a breaking ball.
High fastball is fouled back. Coming inside. Interesting how Perez didn't even give a sign right there. They had talked about this at bat after that last home run.
Yeah, if I lean over to the inside with my head and just kind of motion, that's where I want it. Watch what he does. Doesn't give a sign. Watch his head. Just bring it in here.
Come on in here, big boy.
Yeah.
Ground ball deep in the hole. Escobar bounces it past Hosmer. And Arancibia is aboard. And Perez is going to tag Arancibia just in case. It's an error on the shortstop for Alcides Escobar. That's his 9th error of the season. The ball was hit sharply and deep in the hole at short.
Another quick pitch from Hochevar. You see, he doesn't have that leg lift, and he throws a fastball just to upset the timing of the batter. And the key to this play, watch Hosmer. He can't go out and get the ball. He thinks that's going to run into the infield, or the runner, so he tries to come to the outside part of the bag, so he can't get a good stretch, and it ends up being an error.
Back to the top of the order. Brett Lawrie has grounded out twice. That was an interesting play by Hosmer. If he stays on the infield side of the bag, I think he's got a shot at making the play. And I don't know that the ball would have been in the dirt.
Right. That's what I saw also. But I think he anticipated with the long throw that it was going to take him into the runner, and the first baseman, you're taught to shift your feet and go to the outside part of the bag to make that play. Just couldn't get a good stretch for it.
Inside, a ball and a strike. That's where this Blue Jay team has done most of their damage this year, the top 4 in the lineup.
This is where you got to really make that error hurt. You got the number 9 hitter up. He hits what looks like a ground ball for an out. It's not. Now you go back to the top of the lineup and you got Jose Bautista in the hole. So you got to really take advantage of it here.
Two and two. Coach Shaver, for his career against Blue Jays, has a 3-1 record. Coach Shaver is really mixing up his set times. Once he comes set early in this at bat, he used that quick release a couple of times on Laurie, and since then he's slowed it way down. Full count. Coach Shaver got a no decision the last time he faced the Blue Jays back in April. He went 5 innings, allowed just 2 hits, and left after 84 pitches. He was up 2-1 when he left, but the Blue Jays would end up winning that ball game 4-3. You wouldn't expect Aaron Seavey to run in this situation. Rasmus is on deck. Three, two, one out. Laurie fouls off that sinking fastball.
And he is running that thing right in on his hands. He'll learn to be able to keep that ball fair when he brings his hands inside the baseball. Right now he's just getting on top of it a little bit.
Laurie reaches for it and hits it into center field. Dyson is there. Laurie's retired. 2 down. Took something off that breaking ball and got Laurie to reach for it outside. Colby Erasmus will have a whack at Luke Kochaver here. He's doubled and walked. He's been on base both times. And Seavey at first. He reached on the air by the shortstop. And a changeup for a first pitch strike.
They have seen the reports about Colby Rasmus that he is turning on a lot of fastball, especially early in the count. In the last 3 games in this series, they have let him off with off-speed pitches. Something soft. Told you that the second baseman, Yuniesky Betancourt, might play the deepest second base. That is him in short right field. And every left-hander that has come up this series, that is where he has played.
It helps that he's a former shortstop with arm strength, so he can play deep out there.
He's got an excellent arm.
Bouncing ball, tricky hop for Hosmer. Kochaver is late. Luke Kochaver became the spectator and watched Hosmer and forgot to cover first. As he does every time he puts the ball in play. Rasmus didn't take anything for granted, and he reaches.
Yeah, it looked like Kochaver broke over to first, but then kind of hesitated and stopped. You see right there? And then he hesitated and said, oh, I got to keep going. And by that time, it's way too late, and he knows he made a mistake. He also might have got stepped on at first base. by Erasmus because the trainer's going to come out. Maybe he caught the edge of that bag. Might have twisted his ankle. Let's watch again. It did look like he spiked him, but he might have got the edge of that bag and twisted the ankle a little bit.
He looks pretty concerned. He's kind of testing that right ankle a bit. Well, how many times have we seen that where a pitcher just becomes a spectator and is late covering the bag? Watch his right ankle as he comes down on the corner of the bag and then breaks it again right there. So he's going to test it out here.
You know what intrigues me is he broke as soon as the ball was hit. I think he was anticipating that Hosmer was going to come up with it cleanly and then step on the bag himself, but it took a tricky hop right at the end. It came up on Eric, the first baseman, bounced off his chest, and his only play was to throw it to the pitcher, but he had hesitated. Watch him break once again. Right there, he says, okay, Eric's got it. Oh, well, no, he doesn't. I got to get over there, and then by then it's too late.
How many times do the pitchers go through this in spring training? I mean, every day, ground ball after ground ball, cover first, cover first, cover first. And that little hesitation allowed Rasmus to reach. It's an infield hit for Colby Rasmus. That gave him a hit, I guess, because of the bad hop. Looked like it might have hit a seam down there at first. And now this is the problem, how Hochevar's created a serious problem for himself, and it looks like Ned Yost isn't sure that he's going to let Hochevar continue. Trainers out there, and they want to make sure that he's 100% certain he can continue.
Yeah, the manager is asking to be honest with me. How does it feel? And a pitcher has to be honest. That player has to be honest with the manager when it comes to those type of injuries.
Well, you certainly don't want a less than 100% pitcher throwing to Jose Bautista in this situation right now. One swing of the bat, and we're all tied up.
What's the first thing that goes if your feet are not underneath you when you're trying to make a pitch? You just can't command it.
Major League leader in home runs, Jose Bautista. One ahead of Josh Hamilton. He's got a lot of fans. Breaking ball strike. Bautista lined out to left field his last time up. He's also grounded out.
He has been quick, a little too, his first two times up, just a little bit too quick out in front.
In fact, a breaking ball off the plate. Hochevar's ahead 0-2. Aaron Sebia reached on an error by the shortstop. Rasmus had an infield single. JP's at second. Colby's at first. KCA leads 5-2. Pickoff at second, and Aaron Sebia is back. Betancourt broke in from his second base position. Not a bad idea. Anytime you can get out of an inning without throwing another pitch to Jose Bautista, you take a chance.
2 strikes, 2 outs. That base runner is thinking about getting a bigger lead, bigger secondary lead, so he can score on an outfield hit.
Off the plate outside. Mark Carlson down at first base denied the appeal. Bautista strikes out. Hochevar gets out of a tough jam in the 5th. Blue Jays get a couple on, but Hochevar picks up the strikeout. Just his 3rd strikeout of the night is a big one as he strands a pair of Blue Jays. will host the All-Star game next Tuesday, July 10th. MLB All-Star Week. It all begins with the Home Run Derby presented by Honda. That'll take place Monday night, 7:30 Eastern Time, 4:30 Pacific Time, right here on Sportsnet. And then Tuesday, you'll watch Jose Bautista and his American League teammates go to battle with the National League. It'll all begin right here at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday night. The third All-Star game hosted by Kansas City. And it should be a great week for baseball. Henderson Alvarez jumps ahead of Jeff Francoeur with the first pitch strike. Alvarez had a 41-pitch third inning. And outside of that third inning, he's been lights out.
Yeah, he certainly has. He's been able to hit his spots, and he's not showing any ill effects of that 41-pitch inning. He has come right back here, just using that turbo sinker.
Luke Kochaver got out of a tough situation in the fifth. He might have sprained his ankle. Looks like Yost is going to take him out of the game. So his night has come to an end. The trainer right there to support the manager's decision, saying, you know what, we're going to take care of your ankle. So Hochaver will leave with a 5-2 lead. Last time he started against the Jays, he left after 5 with a 2-1 lead, only to see it evaporate. The Jays came back and won 4-3. Ted Yost has a lot of confidence in his bullpen. He's got the left-hander Tim Collins warming up right now.
You know, it's deep and it's well rested.
Francoeur bouncing ball to short. Yunel Escobar. Strong throw. One out here in the sixth. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. White Sox are going to vote Kevin Youkilis the mayor of Chicago before we get there. Well, what a pickup that's been. Huh?
What a perfect fit for that team. They had the lowest batting average, lowest on-base percentage, lowest production of any third baseman in baseball. He fit right in the number 2 slot in that batting order, and he's tough.
Today he hit third. They had Beckham in the leadoff spot. Escobar played third. Youkilis played first. Eduardo Escobar started and played at third base. Youkilis played first. Konerko DH'd. Dunn was out of the lineup.
Diaz last night fouled a ball off of his knee, I believe.
Sal Perez shoots one through the right side of the infield. His second hit of the night. Of course, we'll see those White Sox tomorrow night. First of 3 games. Aaron Laffey will open things up, and boy, he's been a pleasant surprise in the rotation. It'll all begin tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's the pregame show with Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn, 4:30 Pacific Time. First of 3 from Chicago, Friday night, Saturday afternoon, and Sunday afternoon. Well, Sal Perez with a couple hits has knocked Alvarez out of the ball game here in the top of the 6th. He'll go to the bullpen. The left-hander Luis Perez on in relief. pitcher for the Blue Jays will be the left-hander, Luis Perez. Perez has had ample rest. He hasn't pitched since Sunday. And he will make his 34th appearance. This is a good matchup for the Blue Jays, bringing Perez in to face the number 9 hitter, Gerard Dyson, the left-hander.
And then after him is another lefty in Gordon. 8 of those 33 appearances have been multiple innings for Luis Perez. He's thrown the most innings out of the bullpen for the Blue Jays, 39 2/3 already. And he has pitched well against the lefties.
Sal Perez at first for the second single of the night. 1 out. Breaking ball strike from Perez.
Left-handers hitting just .211 against Perez. He's only given up 12 hits all season long to a left-handed batter.
Pops this one in the air into center field. Rasmus comes over, makes the grab. Dyson's retired. 2 outs. We've just been informed there's been a scoring change in the ball game going back to the bottom of the 5th inning. Kobe Rasmus was originally credited with an infield hit. It's since been changed to an error on the first baseman, Eric Hosmer. So take the hit away from Rasmus and charge Hosmer with his 6th error of the season. Alex Gordon has struck out, walked, and singled. Well, I tell you what, the quality of this bullpen goes up dramatically when they have sufficient rest. There in the month of June, they were overworked and they just didn't have the crisp pitches. They didn't have the velocity nor the location. And Perez is one of those guys that, boy, you give him good rest and he'll be sharp.
Overworked might be an understatement for what the bullpen had to do in the month of June. John Farrell had to use them a lot. And they've got some good arms, but those arms need rest.
Just missed the outside corner.
They have made so many different changes. 17 relievers already this year that the Blue Jays have used.
The next relief pitcher, whether it's Drew Carpenter or Sammy Dyson, will make the 24th pitcher that John Farrell has had to use. Drew Carpenter joined the team last night from Las Vegas, where he has been starting. And Sammy Dyson joined the team this afternoon. He was called up from Double-A as Scott Richmond was sent back to the minor leagues last night after the game.
Those 17 relievers that the Blue Jays have used this year, yeah, that's number 1 in baseball. Second on that list, there's the Padres and the Royals. Both have used 16 relievers this year.
Gordon pops it in the air to left. Rajay Davis comes in a few steps, and Perez comes out of the bullpen and closes out the 6th. Blue Jays are down by 3, and Connor Schilling will lead things off. He'll face Tim Collins when we come back. Baseball, visit our MLB mashup blog on sportsnet.ca. Features Shai Davidi and Mike Cormack. They'll take you inside the Blue Jays clubhouse and bring you up to speed on all the changes and some of the new personalities that have joined this ball club. And also they'll look around baseball and try to answer questions about why in the world are the Washington Nationals and the Pittsburgh Pirates leading their respective divisions in the National League. Tim Collins, boy, he's been good. When you look at Collins, he leads all major league relievers with strikeouts. He's got an overpowering fastball.
Yeah, about 93 miles an hour, a good overhand curveball that he will use to the left-handers. 4.2 of 326 earned run average for Collins. He pitched Monday night and had a 1-2-3 ninth inning with a strikeout in that inning. Here is the line for Luke Hochshaver, who leaves after 5 innings, 4 hits, a couple of earned runs, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. And I'm sure it had to do with that ankle that he might have twisted when he covered first base last inning. So he is out after 5, but still in line for the win.
84 pitches for Hochshaver. So now it's up to the bullpen, and Edwin Encarnacion will lead things off. He takes a first pitch strike. Comes back with that breaking ball and drops it in there for a strike.
He likes to change the eye level of the batters with that curveball. You can tell it's called a 12-6. So hands of the clock. It starts off at 12 and drops straight down. Combine that with his fastball, which is pretty good. You can see why he was the Blue Jays minor league pitcher of the year in 2009.
2009, he pitched at Dunedin, went 7-4. He had 99 strikeouts in 64 2/3 innings. He's always had to battle his size. He's 5'7", and first impression, most baseball execs would say, well, he's just a little bit too small, but there have been some great shorter pitchers. Roy Oswald's done a great job throughout his career. He's about 5'9".
Billy Wagner,
Flash Gordon. Billy Wagner is probably the most comparable pitcher to Tim Collins.
You know, being small like that really doesn't translate into being a starter, because you've got to work so much and you've got to throw so much and you can lose your stamina. But out of the bullpen, being a one-inning guy or a setup guy, I think it really plays.
And when Encarnacion pops up the 3-2 pitch, Francoeur, the right fielder, takes charge and makes the catch. Now you're right. You come in knowing that you're probably going to pitch an inning, get max 2 innings, and as long as you throw strikes and stay ahead, your pitch count's not going to get out of hand.
Yeah, and you'll be fine. And Tim Collins certainly has big league stuff. Fastball 93, 94, but curveball, he'll fade a change up a little bit to the right-handers. Move that fastball around.
Gets ahead of Adam Lynn with a breaking ball. Collins ahead 0-2. Tim Collins was signed by the Blue Jays as a non-drafted free agent in July of 2007. And then he went from Toronto to the Braves along with Alex Gonzalez and Tyler Pasternicki for Yunel Escobar and Jojo Reyes. And then later on that same year, 2010, he was picked up by the Royals along with Jesse Chavez, Gregor Blanco, for Kyle Farnsworth and Rick Ankiel. Wesley Chavez now in the Blue Jays bullpen.
How about that? How it works in baseball. Teammates, and now they're opposing each other.
Lynn goes around. He strikes out on that breaking ball. Collins picks up another strikeout.
He's averaging, Tim Collins, this season, averaging 12 strikeouts per 9 innings. Now he's tough on the lefties. Lefties hitting just .218 against him this year, as he drops that breaking ball on Adam Lynn and he can't hold up. But then you go check out the splits against the right-handers. What he has done against the righties this year, they're hitting $165 against Collins. So he's no situational lefty.
Now his stuff is legit. And here's part of that trade link as well. Escobar coming to Toronto, and Collins going from the Blue Jays to the Braves. Collins now has 54 strikeouts. This is his 39th inning of work.
He's making some quality pitches with that fastball. Good fastball hitter in Escobar. 2-0 count, and he paints him on the outside corner.
Just misses that outside corner. It's 3-1. This game's a lot like the game the two ball clubs played on Tuesday. Royals scored 3 runs in the top of the third. Blue Jays scored 6 runs in the bottom of the fourth, and that was it. Cubs have only scored in the third inning. 5 for the Royals, 2 for the Blue Jays. Full count. Was bounced foul. Escobar checking with Ed Hickox to make sure that ball was a strike. That's Sammy Dyson, the newest Blue Jay. He joined the club today from Double-A, New Hampshire. If he pitches in this game, he'll be the first Blue Jay in the 2010 draft to make a big league appearance. Escobar is aboard with a 2-out walk. We asked John Fale earlier this afternoon, give us a scouting report on his newest Blue Jay reliever, Sammy Dyson.
Hard throwing right-hander, good sinking fastball. He's got good action to his breaking pitches. This is someone that was a high-profile guy going into his draft here at the University of South Carolina. Some injuries caused that draft status to slip a little bit. He was our 4th-round pick. This is the first year that he's pitching competitively after going through Tommy John and rehabbing all of 2011. So you can anticipate someone who's going to come in, pitch aggressively with above-average stuff, and yet at the same time he's getting acclimated to the major league level. We've got to balance some of those physical issues that have been in the past. So to go back-to-back days at this point is probably a little bit premature. But this is someone that adds another element that we don't have, and that's that mid to upper 90s type of stuff coming out of the pen.
Well, Rajay Davis is in a whole 0-2 changeup curveball, and he's behind. So Sammy Dyson, interesting guy, and John Farrell gives a pretty good scouting report. Dyson hasn't pitched since the 3rd of July. Pitched an inning of relief. Rajay Davis strikes out. Tim Collins gets a couple of strikeouts in the 6th inning. We'll go to the 7th. Collins with that big strikeout pitch, 2 in the inning. Kansas City leads 5-2. Jays Club, you can sign up today. Membership includes a baseball, hat, pennant, and an invitation to exclusive autograph sessions with the Blue Jays. Membership cost is only $19.99. Go to bluejays.com/kids or call 416-341-1715. And you can have this kind of fun with Big Ace. That little guy's having a great time tonight. He says, I got a shirt just like yours.
Having fun with Big Ace. Little Aces around here, too, I'm sure. Usually see them on Junior Jays Day.
Lots of kids on hand tonight. Good crowd, 20,518 on hand here at Rogers Center. Luis Perez to Alcides Escobar. Escobar with a couple hits tonight. Bumped his average up to 311. Perez came on in relief with 1 out in the 6th. They got Gerard Dyson to fly out to center and Alex Gordon to fly out to left. Blue Jays are down by 3. We've got one more trip through the heart of the order, at least.
Well, first of all, they got to keep throwing up zeros on the scoreboard right here. Escobar is much better this year versus the fastball. That's what's helped him to hit 311. Hitting in a good spot in this order.
Bouncing ball, and Yunel Escobar's had a busy night. 1 out. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. One out here. Eric Hosmer, first baseman. Bouncing ball. Tommy Johnson takes it. Perez has 2 easy outs here in the 7th. 2 outs. John Farrell's making his way toward the mound. Billy Butler is the scheduled batter, and we're going to get a major league debut. Sammy Dyson, just called up from Double-A, is coming into the ball game. He'll make his major league debut and take on Billy Butler when we come back to Rogers Center. His numbers this year between Dunedin and New Hampshire, and you look at his numbers against lefties, kind of unusual, 161 average, but he's got a great sinking fastball.
Yeah, then you hear the scouting report that John Farrell was giving us just a minute ago, and he's got one of those hard sinking fastballs. He's got a little bit of a slider, good numbers. Again, he started in high A ball. The path that Henderson Alvarez took last year, started in Dunedin, went to New Hampshire, and came to the big leagues. Dyson's done it out of the bullpen, and he gets a chance to face his first big league hitter.
John Farrell addressed the media about Sammy Dyson, and he said he might have the best stuff in our system. I watched Sammy Dyson pitch in the minor league complex before spring training ever began, and he's been battling injuries, coming back from injuries. This is the first season he's pitched. He was a drafted player in 2010. But boy, what I saw, I liked. He had a good delivery, threw a lot of strikes, and he's worked his way back to healthy and dominant.
That's the one thing that everybody told us this afternoon about Dyson is he throws strikes. Repeatable delivery, fills up the strike zone with pitches. And a live arm.
That's the first pitch of his big league career, and they'll toss it into the dugout. Dyson came from the University of South Carolina. He went to high school in Tampa, grew up in Tampa, went to Tampa Jesuit High School. And he misses with that pitch outside. Fourth round pick. He had injuries, and that's why he slipped. You heard John Farrell talk about that. But he's the first Blue Jay from that 2010 amateur draft to make it to the big leagues.
And they were really counting on that draft. That was a very deep draft for the Blue Jays. They had a lot of high picks. And they're sprinkled all over their organization right now. There are some in Double-A, some in High A, some in Low A. A lot of high school kids picked also.
3-0 to Billy Butler. And a 4-pitch walk, and hitters might be an issue. Sammy Dyson was just informed by Sal Fasano last night that he was coming to the big leagues. You had to believe that was the furthest thing from his mind. He had just been promoted from A ball to Double-A. He made 15 appearances for New Hampshire, a total of 24 innings. He started 6 games in Dunedin, opportunity to build up his innings and get him back in the routine of pitching. He was a starter in college and a good one.
They took some chances, the Blue Jays, on some of those draft picks that year of college pitchers who had been injured. And hoping that once they got into pro baseball, they would get healthy, and they were just too special to give up on.
That was a strike, Yuniesky Betancourt. But that 2010 draft is one the Blue Jays are counting heavily on.
Beck McGuire was #1. He's in Double-A. Sanchez, Syndergaard, and Nicolino were all in Low A and dominated.
Just popped up over near the Royals dugout and out of play.
We've also had Asher Wojciechowski was in that draft. He was a very high draft pick by the Blue Jays. 41st overall. He is in High A.
And some of the more lightly regarded draft picks of that draft are starting to come on. Starting to play well in their respective minor league teams. 0-2, there goes Butler, and that ball goes behind Betancourt. And Billy Butler will end up at second base with a stolen base.
Looked like that curveball. And it's a curveball where you put your index finger on the top of the baseball and spin it with your middle finger. That time it looked like it just slipped out of his hand.
1-2. There's that good sinking fastball, and Betancourt gets a piece of it. Dyson pitched for University of South Carolina in the College World Series in 2010.
Don't think about where you are right now. Just think about executing pitches. You can't think about, hey, I'm in the big leagues. I'm trying to make it work here. I got to be perfect. Just think about what you did when you were an A-ball. And good things are going to happen for you.
Picks up his first big league strikeout. Strikes out Unieski Betancourt. Welcome to the big leagues, Sammy Dyson. He strands a runner at second. Draft for the Blue Jays was a good one. Here's some more members of that 2010 draft. Aaron Sanchez, Noah Syndergaard, and Justin Nicolino. And where they were drafted, 34th overall, 38th overall, and 80th overall. Sammy Dyson made his big league debut here tonight. He was part of that 2010 draft. And he got the biggest one out of the way. His first big league appearance, a walk and a strikeout.
And it looks like that's going to be his only appearance for the night. Just that 1/3 of an inning, and I like that.
Kelly Johnson hits one right over the mound, and the shortstop Alcides Escobar is there and throws him out.
You get a guy in there, you get him a taste of the big leagues, you let him face a couple of batters, and then sit on it, think about it, and then see him a couple of days.
Just wonder what's going on in that mind as he dealt with injuries. He was projected as a first-round talent out of the University of South Carolina. Had injuries that dropped him down to the fourth, but he has to be thinking, man, I'm in the big leagues. He's realized his dream tonight.
Good to see another big league city after the game, too. Blue Jays hop on the charter and head to Chicago for 3 games.
And Sebia hits it high and deep to left. Gerard Dyson's going to run out of room. Home run, JP, his second of the night.
We're not through yet. Another home run will send the Blue Jays 1 run closer. First time up there, and Sebia hit a breaking ball out of the ballpark. This time it looked like Collins was going to challenge him with a fastball. And Sebia beats him. right over the auxiliary scoreboard for number 13 on the season.
Third multi-home run game for J. Pierre and Sabia, 13th on the season, and the Royals will go to the bullpen. Collins is out. Summer Fan Fridays are going to be fun. They'll be presented by Schneider's. First one will take place Friday, July 13th, when the Blue Jays open up the second half of their schedule here at home. They'll take on the Cleveland Indians. The game starts at 7:07 p.m. Come on down early and enjoy the pregame festivities happening outside of Gate 10. It all starts at 4:30. There's a licensed area, live music, fun, interactive games. Call the Blue Jays for tickets at 416-341-1234 or log on to BlueJays.com. Greg Holland to Brett Lawrie, misses with the first fastball.
Good numbers for Holland in his first 30 games of the season. 2-2, 386 earned run average. He's got an excellent fastball. There's a nice curveball to change up. Lots of strikeouts. He's had an injury earlier this year when the Blue Jays saw him. Just didn't have his command and they knocked him around.
Lawrie pops it up right side. Hosmer over near the wall, leans in, and it's beyond his reach.
The TD seats saved Brett Lawrie that time as Hosmer ran out of room. He got over there. He just couldn't reach over those seats.
It's a 5-3 Royals lead. Brett Lawrie has gone 0 for 3 so far. Collins got a good arm. Back end of this bullpen is pretty effective, even though they've lost their closer, Joaquin Soria. They've got Crow, Holland, Pereira, and then Jonathan Broxton, the closer.
Plenty of arms for Ned Yost to figure out the last couple of innings here tonight. Holland's got strikeout stuff. Crow's got strikeout stuff.
Good eye by Lawrie. They got another left-hander down there, Jose Mijares, and there's Aaron Crow moving around, just in case. Two and two. Strike three call. High breaking ball, but Holland gets the call. That's the second out of the inning.
I think the argument that Brett Lawrie might want to have was he called a ball on the pitch prior to that one. And then it looked like it was the same type of pitch, breaking ball that was on the outside part of the plate. It might have been up a little bit, but he's punched out on that curveball.
Lawrie had a pretty good look at it and was fairly confident it was going to be called a ball, but he has to pack the lumber back to the dugout. Colby Rasmus Colby's been on base all 3 times tonight. Breaking ball strike. Rasmus doubled in the first, walked in the third, and reached on an error in the 5th. The play in the 5th was originally ruled an infield hit, but the scorekeeper changed it to an error on the first baseman. Hosmer was charged with his 6th error of the season. It's a tricky bouncing ball that Hosmer couldn't handle it, and it was compounded by the fact that Luke Hochhaver, the pitcher, didn't cover first. Popped into shallow center field. The shortstop is back, and the inning is over. But the Blue Jays are chipping away. J.P. Arancibia's 2nd home run of the night has turned it into a 2-run game. Brought to you by Budweiser. Good times are waiting. Please enjoy responsibly.
Brent Laurie had a decision to make on a slow roller off the bat of Jeff Francoeur. Do I come in and glove it and try and throw on the run, or do I barehand it? His smart play was he figured he had to barehand it. And he throws out Francoeur by a half a step. Look at the bare hand. He's coming hard into home plate, throws across his body and makes a strong, accurate throw for tonight's smart play.
Very athletic and becoming more comfortable with third base. Signed as a catcher, moved to second base, and now he has found a home at third. Francisco Cordero will come on to put the 8th inning. Cordero has not pitched in a while. He hasn't pitched since Sunday. So he has gotten a good break and a chance to recharge his batteries, making his 39th appearance of the season.
And at that time, he had been pitching a lot better than we saw in the first half, but then could only get just 1/3 of an out against the Los Angeles Angels. Trout, first batter he faced, went deep against him. He ended up giving up 4 hits and 3 earned runs in just 1/3 of an inning, so the numbers are right back up there for Cordero.
Moustakas, Francoeur, and the catcher Sal Perez for Kansas City here in the 8th. Ball on the strike. Moustakas drove in his 44th run of the season with a sac fly in the 3rd. Kansas City's only scored in the 3rd. Put up a 5 spot against Henderson Alvarez.
How does the game change on one pitch? I mean, you're looking at a 3-1, maybe 3-0 game for the Blue Jays on just one pitch.
There's a base hit up the middle. Moustakas is aboard again. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. Leadoff man's aboard here in the 8th. Jeff Francoeur. Big swing and a miss. Francoeur's grounded out 3 times tonight. That might suggest that Ned Yost will start the runner at first. Not going. Ground ball up the middle. Escobar Johnson get tangled up, and Francoeur's aboard. That ball went right over the bag at second. Shortstop and the second baseman got tangled up. I'm not sure if Escobar may not have stepped on Kelly Johnson, and they couldn't make a play.
Yeah, a little collision out behind second base. Ball isn't hit hard by Francoeur. It goes right over the mound. Cordero had thoughts of grabbing it with that bare hand. And there's the collision right where the ball is coming across.
Yeah, they got their feet tangled up, and they were both going on the same path, and they collide behind second. I would imagine that's an infield hit for Francoeur, given where it was hit. Trying to split the diamond perfectly. So the first 2 are aboard here. Now the catcher, Sal Perez, he's already got 2 hits tonight. Now he's got 3. Not wasting any time. It's a line drive into center. And Arroyo's got something going quickly against Francisco Cordero.
Auto lineup again for the Royals. Perez can hit, and he can play this game. Don Wakamatsu was talking around the batting cage today. I asked him how everything's going. He goes, we got to figure out how to pitch to Perez, because what we're doing is not working. This guy is hitting everything that we're throwing up there, and early in the count. That time Cordero came right after him, and he punched a base hit. Now a 2-run game is in danger of getting out of hand.
Gerard Dyson, as Bruce Walton gets on the horn to the bullpen, he'll get somebody throwing quickly down there. Drew Carpenter hasn't made an appearance for the Blue Jays yet. This is his second day with the team. Dyson's in a hole 0-2. But obviously, this is time for a strikeout. Bases loaded, nobody out.
Yeah, you're not going to double up Dyson here. Strikeout, maybe a pop-up on the infield.
Little flare, Laurie giving chase, and he can't get there. Well, he read it quickly, but ball was just too far away at third. Well, you got to believe if Cordero can bounce a ball right here, Dyson's in a swing mode.
Yeah, he has shown that he will chase balls down in the dirt. Show confidence in your catcher that if you do throw it down there, he'll block it.
Another pop up, this one into the seats. Blue Jays made it a 2-run game. JP Arencibi has driven in all 3 runs tonight with a pair of home runs. Kansas City threatening to expand their lead. Bouncing ball. Kelly Johnson will come home. They get the force out. Johnson had a little trouble finding that ball in his glove, but he had plenty of time to get the runner at the plate.
A little tricky in between hop right there for Kelly Johnson. Your momentum's going to bring you home. Everything is going home, and you're just thinking about getting an out. Ball wasn't hit hard enough for Dyson, or by Dyson, to double him up.
So the bases remain loaded. Francoeur, Perez, and Dyson on the bases for Alex Gordon. Little looper into right, and that's going to drop. Francoeur is in. Bautista gets it back quickly, and Gordon has a broken bat RBI single. That's the 4th hit of the inning.
Just catching too much of the plate early in the count. The batter's just looking for something out over the plate with runners in scoring position. Watch where this one is. Just about belt high over the plate, and that's easy picking for a good hitter like Gordon.
So the bases are still loaded. One down. Alcides Escobar. Boy, he's got a good idea at the plate. Not trying to do too much. Stays back and had to shoot one through the right side.
Let it get deep. The longer you can wait, the longer you're going to recognize what that pitch is. That's one thing that we have seen from Escobar this year. The change this year as opposed to last year is not that free swinger.
Oftentimes young hitters think they have to hit the ball out of the ballpark to be successful, but you got to know who you are. As a hitter, Escobar just doesn't have the stats to be a home run hitter, but boy, he has improved his approach at the plate. Fouls this ball off his foot.
Instant replay. Same type of pitch, same type of swing in that decided 5-run third inning on a ball that was called off of his shoe on a ground ball to Brett Lord.
He stayed alive and ended up getting an RBI single to right. Part of that 5-run inning. The Royals have scored one here in the 8th and threaten to add on. 1-2. Cut on and miss. Escobar strikes out. But Cordero had a long conversation with J.P. Arancibia how he wanted to try to finish off the at-bat, and the strikeout gets Escobar.
Good spot. It's a sinker. And it's in a good spot. The free swing of Escobar with 2 strikes. Swings over the top. It actually foul-tipped it into the mitt of Arancibia.
Eric Hosmer has a hit in 4 at-bats. Pops this one up. It'll drift into the seats. Infield has shifted with 3 infielders on the first base side of second. Ground ball. Cordero was late breaking off the mound. Hosmer's going to beat him to first. Here's the throw to the plate. Not in time. 2-run score. Dyson never hesitated running from second and scores all the way from second on a ball hit to the first baseman.
They had that shift on like you were talking about. Hosmer hits it right between Encarnacion and Johnson. And when the Blue Jays can't finish it off, watch again. The hesitation, just that little hesitation. Hosmer beats it out, and with good speed, Dyson at second base is going to get a couple of RBIs for Eric Hosmer.
So Kansas City scores 3 in the top of the 8th inning to expand their lead to 8-3. Drew Carpenter on. start the 8th inning and leaves, having allowed 3 runs, and the 2 base runners on base are his responsibility. Drew Carpenter makes his Blue Jays debut. Carpenter has pitched in the big leagues with the Philadelphia Phillies and San Diego. A total of 17 games over the span of 4 different seasons. Signed originally with the Phillies in 2006, second round draft pick of that 2006 draft. Good numbers in Las Vegas, 6-3 with a good ERA.
He was claimed off waivers by the Blue Jays last November. Needing some more pitching to round out their roster, the 40-man, and then their AAA team. Got a chance now with the Blue Jays. He's 27 years old. He's got a heavy sinking fastball. The Blue Jays need that right now.
Billy Butler drives this ball into right. Bautista over, makes a running catch. That's the way Butler's luck has been all season long. Kansas City adds 3 here in the top of the 8th. Now it's time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn in the Blackberry Broadcast Studio. Sportsnet live coverage of the Blue Jays. Watch the action live all season from your smartphone. Download the Rogers Live app from your app store. New pitcher for the Royals will be Aaron Crow, the right-hander. Cannons, Allen, and now Crow come out of the Royals bullpen.
Well, we talked about the arms in that bullpen, especially towards the back end. They throw very hard. And here's another one. He was an all-star last year as a setup man. Crow's got a fastball with heavy sinking action on, a little bit of a slider. And he can strike you out also. 34 strikeouts in the 35 innings that he has pitched this year, averaging almost 9 per 9 innings. A very lively arm for Aaron Crow.
Hasn't pitched since the 1st of July, last Sunday, when he gave up 3 runs, gave up a 3-run homer to Drew Butera. Bautista takes the first pitch strike. .94, but it's down and away for a ball.
Sometimes he can go mid to upper 90s with that arm. He's a former first-round draft pick by the Kansas City Royals. Got a very good slider.
He was a first-round draft pick twice. First pick of the Washington Nationals in 2008. Chose not to sign. Right to Moustakas, who was guarding the line. Bautista's out. That's the first out of the 8th. You don't think Aaron Crow might want to rethink that decision in 2008. Looking at the Washington Nationals right now, how good would he look in their bullpen?
He'd be looking up in the standings. Washington first place in the National League East. Not that their bullpen needs any more good arms.
They got a good arm coming back soon in Drew Storen.
Yes.
The closer last year had bone chips removed from his elbow, and he's getting close. I bet you he'll come back shortly after the All-Star break.
They just activated Henry Rodriguez also.
Yeah.
That throws 100.
Yeah, they're not going anywhere soon. They've won 3 straight. They have a 4.5 game lead over the Mets. First baseman Edwin Encarnacion has gone 0 for 3 tonight. Blue Jays have just 5 hits. Aaron Seavey's got 2 of them, and both of his were home runs. Interesting, they would have 5 hits. They're all extra base hits, and they've only been able to score 3 runs.
Go figure. Right? You would figure with 5 extra base hits, 2 of them being home runs, and you mix in a walk here and there. We've also had a couple of errors, the Kansas City Royals, but they've made pitches when they've needed to.
Adam Lind has gone 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts. Broken back base hit sneaks through the infield. Encarnacion will stop at second.
They don't go quietly. They're starting to pick up that reputation that even though they're behind by 2, 3, 4, 5 runs, they will battle you and they will put together innings, keep the pressure on you. Dave Island's got to get back on the phone and pick somebody else up in that bullpen.
Collins has already worked here. Holland has been in now. Crow. They have just 3 relievers left down in their pen. Yunel Escobar has doubled and walked. He is 1 for 2 tonight. Jose Mijares, the second left-hander down in their bullpen, starts to loosen up. He pitched here on Tuesday night. Had a 1-2-3 8th inning. Perez did a good job to save Aaron Crow. A wild pitch right there. That breaking ball was headed to the backstop.
Keeps the double play in order also. And that ball spinning like that up at the plate, it's going to hit the dirt. You have no idea where it's going to ricochet. Perez has done that this whole series. He has shown that he is willing to get in front of those.
2-1. Bouncing ball into left field. They're going to wave Encarnacion. Here's the throw to the plate. It is not in time. They ran right in the face of Alex Gordon, who had 20 assists last year. He made a good throw, but Encarnacion beat the tag at home.
Keep the pressure on. That's what the Blue Jays do. They have been running the bases really aggressively in this series, and they do it again. Moustakas cannot knock it down. Encarnacion's going to come home. Watch the play by Perez. With one movement, he tries to get his leg in there, pick it with his glove, and then try to block off Encarnacion, but he's just a little bit late. Encarnacion's able to score the run. Just can't get that leg down in time to block him off the plate.
Boy, that was a good throw. A one-hop strike to home plate, and Connoisseur's been running the bases well all season long. It's an 8-4 game. I mentioned the Royals. They've had a couple of relievers as well. Nate Adcock and Lewis Coleman are down in their pen, so they got plenty of arms left. First and second, one out. Rajay Davis comes back from a high fastball. Ball on the strike. Davis entered this game as a .313 hitter against right-handed pitching. A dramatic improvement from the last couple of years. He's done a good job playing every day, getting regular at-bats.
Better balance at the plate, a little bit more discipline to lay off those very tough pitches like that one right there. And then when he gets his pitch, or he gets a fastball, he's been hitting it hard.
Bouncing ball to third. Moustakas takes the short hop. Goes on the run in time to get Davis.
Pretty play. We've got two of the finer young third basemen in baseball right here. Moustakas comes in, shows those soft hands and a nice arm. He's got a great target over there to throw to in Eric Hosmer, who's about 6'4". But that quick hands of Moustakas will get the second out of the inning.
Two outs, runners at second and third. Kelly Johnson is the scheduled batter, so Ned Yost will go to his second left-hander. Jose Mijares will come on when we come back. Fourth reliever for Kansas City will be Jose Mijares, making his 40th appearance. He pitched on Tuesday night, had a good inning of work, and he'll try to close things out here with two outs. He'll face the pinch hitter Ben Francisco, who's batting for Kelly Johnson.
You got to play the percentages if you're Ned Yost, left-handed hitter, and Johnson. So you got to go to the left-hand. You've got to force John Farrell to go to his bench. Ben Francisco this year, 5 times he has pinch hit, and he's looking for his first hit as a pinch hitter.
Francisco's looking for his first RBI of the season. Kelly Johnson had a double in 3 at-bats. Francisco hitting .267 against lefty pitching.
You have to play those percentages.
There's a drive, and that'll get down and go all the way to the wall. 2 runs are in. Francisco is around first. He's Going to third. Makes the turn. There'll be no throw. Ben Francisco with his first 2 RBIs of the season. And it's an 8-6 game.
And his first pitch hit, base hit, and it comes at the time. It's a good matchup for Francisco. Is a good fastball hitter. Mijares has got a good arm, a good fastball. Watch the short swing by Francisco. He drives it in the gap in right center field. Blue Jays gave up 3 runs in the top of the inning. They come right back with 3 of their own. The big hit right here by Francisco as he gaps one and he makes it all the way to third base.
We've seen this all year long from the Blue Jays. There's not a whole lot of give up in this entire team. They are right back in it. It's a 2-run game. Francisco delivers. 8-6 Kansas City. And he's had a big night, his 3rd multi-home run game of his career.
First off of a breaking ball. That was against Hochaver, his old college pal. He takes him deep. 2-run home run, and then they try to heat him up, and Tim Collins pays the price as Aaron Sebia hits at the left center field. His 13th home run of the season. JP now 13 home runs, 41 RBIs. And he sits at the plate representing the tying run for the Blue Jays.
Ben Francisco, the pinch hitter, drove in 2. Check swing, the appeal to first, and Mark Carlson calls the swing. Herrera's got a big arm, making his 39th appearance, and he's averaged 7.9 strikeouts per 9 innings.
3rd appearance in this 4-game series against the Blue Jays. 98 miles an hour at that low fastball.
Well, we've seen he's got a very good changeup as well. Aaron Crow, Jose Mijares both pitched in this inning. Crow started it, got 2 outs, but has been charged with 3 runs. Ben Francisco at third is Mijares' responsibility. Brett Laurie would love to get an at-bat in this inning. Bouncing ball. Moustakas, a big, deep, long throw in time, and the inning is over. But the Blue Jays have bounced back with 3 in the bottom of the 8th. We'll go to the 9th. It's an 8-6 ball game. August 19th, when the Blue Jays and Rangers hook up. The game time is 1:07 p.m. The first 20,000 fans in attendance will receive a Ricky Romero bobblehead dog. Ricky's bobblehead is the third of a 3 bobblehead series this year. For more information and tickets, call the Blue Jays at 416-341-1234. Log on to BlueJays.com or stop by most Rogers Plus locations and pick up your tickets for Ricky Romero bobblehead day, August 19th. Omar Vizquel has come on defensively to take over at second base. Kelly Johnson was lifted in favor of Ben Francisco, a pinch hitter. And now Vizquel comes into the game to play second. Drew Carpenter got out of the 8th inning. Had Billy Butler to line out to right. That ended the inning. Yuniesky Betancourt. Long deep drive to left. Rajay Davis looking up. Betancourt, home run. Yuniesky Betancourt, his 6th home run of the season. And just like that, the Royals get one back.
Needing that shutdown inning right here. Keep that momentum over in that third base dugout. Betancourt showing off some power to left field. 1-0. He's looking for a fastball, and he gets it.
Betancourt's had some stretch. He had 16 RBIs. Has 20 RBIs in his last 16 games now. They're getting great production up the middle from Alcides Escobar and Yuniesky Betancourt. And it doesn't hurt to have this guy at third.
Yeah, and Hosmer over at first base. I think this is a dangerous team, Kansas City. A lot of good young players.
Snares that hot shot back to the mound. 1 out. Now it's time for a preview of what's coming up next on Connected. Here's R.J. Broadhead and Ryan Leslie. Betancourt with a little insurance home run has made it a 3-run lead for Kansas City. Jeff Francoeur, the right fielder. Francoeur in this series has gone 4 for 14.
You know, he gives the Royals exactly what they need from Francoeur. Veteran presence. A guy who doesn't panic when things go wrong and go bad. You can go to him and you can talk to him. He's a good defender and he's got a great arm. A perfect complement to the rest of the young players that the Royals have here.
It's just foul. Francoeur's now 28 years old. He's certainly a young veteran. He's in his 7th season in the big leagues. Came up in 2005 mid-season with the Braves. And he was the guy that kind of stabilized everything early in the season when they had that 12-game losing streak. He said, hey, fellas, you're trying to win 5 games every day. You can't do that.
Hold some team meetings together.
Yeah, and he's got a little juice because he came from the Braves and he was around those great ball clubs. And he is the leader in experience. And when he talks, some of the young guys listen and they got things turned around. A breaking ball as Carpenter strikes him out. As we mentioned, the Blue Jays will go to Chicago to take on the White Sox. It all starts tomorrow night. We'll take a look at the pitching matchups. Aaron Laffey will open things up against Jake Phoebe. believe he's had a very good season. And on Saturday, note the start time. 4:10 Eastern, Ricky Romero hooks up with Gavin Floyd. And Sunday, Brett Cecil will go to the mound. It's a 2:10 Eastern start. And the White Sox, their scheduled starter was Chris Sale, but they have scratched him. They want to give him some extra rest, and he's going to the All-Star game.
That is a hot team, Chicago White Sox. In that ballpark, they can hit a lot of home runs.
Sal Perez hits the chopper to the third. This time, Beth Laurie can't come up with it on a barehanded grab. Sal Perez, how about a 4-hit night?
Can't get that guy out. He had a hit in yesterday's game, a hit in the game before that, and a multi-hit game in the first game of the series. So 8 hits.
That's his first 4-hit game in the big leagues. And we have seen him hit the ball out of the ballpark, and we've seen him put the ball in play and spray it all over the diamond. 2 outs. Dyson with the bunt, and bunts it foul. 22-year-old catcher had 8 hits in the series, but boy, he's made an impression behind the plate.
Very animated back there, and for a guy who is just 22 years old, he understands what the job is of a catcher, how to work his pitcher through these problems. This was probably the prettiest play that we have seen in those 4 games, that throw to Rajay Davis. He's got a knack for calling a game and understanding how to get a hitter out.
Gerard Dyson puts a charge in one. This ball is off the wall. Bautista plays it off the wall. Perez will stop at third, and Dyson has his second double of the night. That's the 16th hit for Kansas City.
They had a season-high 14 against the Blue Jays on Monday in that game. 14 hits, 11 runs, the first game in this series.
It was the third time they had 14 hits, and tonight with 16 hits. That's a season high. They established a season high with 11 runs scored in this series. Alex Gordon hits it high and deep to right. Bautista comes in, and that'll end the inning. The Blue Jays got some work to do. They trail by 3. They'll be dealing with Jonathan Broxton, top of the order. Laurie, Erasmus, Bautista. One last shot at the Royals. In the 9th inning, the closer for Kansas City will come on, Jonathan Broxton. Broxton has 20 saves. That's good for 4th in the American League. Jim Johnson of the Orioles leads with 25. Broxton has been pushed into that closer's role with the injury to Joakim Soria, and he has responded very well.
Yeah, the whip is still a little bit too high for Broxton as a closer at 1.3, but he's 20 for 23. They signed him as a free agent to be a setup man for Joakim Soria, and isn't that nice when Soria goes on the disabled list with Tommy John surgery? They had a guy like Broxton, who was a closer with the Dodgers, in fact had a 36-save season sitting right there for you. That's good planning.
Broxton has dealt with injuries the last couple of years, but obviously he's healthy and throwing the ball well again. So the top of the order will try to get back in this ball game. They trail by 3. Broxton spent his entire career with the Dodgers prior to signing with Kansas City as a free agent. It's 0-2.
Yeah, that's why you see his matchups against the Blue Jays. They're just few at bats. Just hasn't pitched against the Blue Jays, spending his whole career in the National League. Encarnacion has the most at bats against him, 7.
Bouncing ball. Hosmer backs up, throws it to Broxton, who covers, and Laurie is retired.
Well, that's one thing that Broxton has. He's got a big fastball and a very good slider that he will use to get those strikeouts. That one season that he had in Los Angeles when he had those 36 saves, that was back in 2009. He threw 76 innings, 114 strikeouts that year, so he's got a filthy slider.
He was an all-star in back-to-back seasons in 2009, 2010. Actually had a save in the 2010 all-star game. Kobe Rasmus bats with 1 out. Outside. Boy, those add-on innings, add-on runs that the Blue Jays gave up late in the ball game, 3 in the 8th and 1 in the 9th. Just couldn't get any shutdown innings out of their bullpen late.
2 more innings tonight where the Blue Jays have scored, and then the opposition came right back to get a run.
Blue Jays scored a single run bottom of the 7th, and then Kansas City stormed right back with 3 runs of their own. Then the Jays scored 3 in the bottom of the 8th. They gave up 1 in the top of the 9th. Rasmus takes a strike.
Colby played in the National League when he was with St. Louis, but he's only had a couple of at-bats against Jonathan Broxton in their career. He got a hit against him.
Another strike poured in there by Broxton.
Getting better as the season goes along. For Broxton, his fly ball ratio is going down. Tells you that he's getting the ball down in the lower parts of the strike zone. Players just can't lift the ball against him.
Right after this ball game, you'll be joined by Connected. R.J. Broadhead and Ryan Leslie will break down all the baseball action. The Pittsburgh Pirates continue to play good baseball. They beat Houston 2-0 tonight. Chicago White Sox beat the Texas Rangers 2-1. And how about Miami? With Carlos Lee batting 3rd in their lineup. The Marlins won 4-0 over Milwaukee tonight. So Connected will break it all down for you, including some Wimbledon highlights and lots coming up right after the ball game. 2-2, 1 out. Rasmus drives it into right. His second hit of the night.
Been on base 4 times in front of Jose Bautista. Just get a chance. Slider that is left up by Broxton, right where Kobe likes it. And he rips it into right field for another hit.
These guys have been waiting for a long ball all night long, and they haven't lost any of their enthusiasm. Bautista 0 for 4. Puts it one down the stairs. Edwin Encarnacion has been shut out tonight. He's 0 for 3 with a walk.
Get a guy on. That's what you're looking for right now. Get that tying run to the plate.
Bautista understands his assignment right now. He's riding an 8-game hit streak, but he's not going to jeopardize a chance to win the ball game. He's going to force Broxton to throw him a strike.
And if he wants to, he can take a shot to right field if he wants to. There's a gigantic hole on the right side of the infield.
2-0. 3-0. Rasmus with a 1-out single.
Yeah, Hosmer's got to hold him on over at first base. You see the semi-shift by the infield, Betancourt and Escobar. So there's a big hole on that right side if he wants to try and poke one over there and get that tying run to the plate.
Taking all the way, it's 3-1. Bautista has an 8-game hit streak. He's gone 11 for 30 coming into this game. Tonight he's 0 for 4. Line to Moustakas, and Rasmus will be doubled up. That'll end the ball game, and Kansas City has stormed back to split the 4-game series. Broxton picks up his 21st save of the season, and the Royal Bats came alive big time. 9 runs on 16 hits.
Season high 16 hits by the Royals, and it just seemed like Blue Jays just couldn't get anybody out when they needed to. Ned Yost's team comes storming back to split this series, and now the Blue Jays head to Chicago, and they are hot.
White Sox are on fire. We'll be there for all 3 games prior to the All-Star break. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow night from Chicago.